Hello, Brad here with the bass guitar tutorial Minimal for the gig-based learning Minimum Viable Performance, which is a simplified cover version of Satisfaction, in brackets, I Can't Get No, by the Rolling Stones. This tutorial is designed for people who've just picked up the bass guitar and want to get on with it and play music right away. By the end of this tutorial, which is actually much more than a tutorial, it's a music lesson, it's a song breakdown, and it's a guided practice session. So if you do all of that, you'll be ready to play along with the gig-based learning band in our simplified cover version. But we'd love it if your friends were also learning the other parts from our tutorials and you could play this song as a band. Alright, let's get on with it. There are just 3 chords in Satisfaction: E, A, and B. Classic rock and roll. Below me, it's all written out in our notation, which in rock and roll we call the chart. First, a quick recap. The 5 lines and 4 spaces are called the staff or stave. The symbol at the beginning is the bass clef for bass instruments. The 2 dots say that the line between these 2 dots is for the note F, and then we arrange all of the notes on the bass clef according to knowing that that line is F. Now, if this is new to you, or if you'd like to know more, we've made a bass clef video and we'll link to it in the description below, and make sure there's a link at the end as well. So let's find these notes on the bass guitar. Looking at my right hand, I rest my thumb right here on the pickup so it's anchored. I like to put mine in the middle of the pickup. Now we're going to use a pinching motion to press energy into this fat string closest to our nose or the ceiling, and hey presto, that's the note E. So we press energy in and we come to rest on our thumb. That's why this is called the rest stroke. Energy into the string and resting on our thumb. We do the same with our middle finger, pressing energy in and resting on our thumb. Now it's really important not to think about plucking up towards the ceiling or out from your body, and to also not get caught up on this side of the string, but just press the energy in, kind of sliding over the top of the string and stroking yourself in the thumb. Remember, with this simple pinching movement. Alright, we'll leave our thumb on the pickup and we go down to the next string, which happens to be the next note for Satisfaction, the note A, and the A string. Still don't need our left hand, so we press energy into the string, and this time we come to rest on the E string. Same with our middle finger. Energy into the string and resting on the E string. Now, two strings, 2 notes, E and A. We're going to move to the A string, but this time looking at the left hand, there are bars going across the strings, and these are called frets. Check this out. If I play the A string without my left hand, that's the note A. If I press down on what we call the first fret behind that line, A sharp, and then the next fret, B. 3 notes of the chromatic alphabet, A sharp, B. So B is on the 2nd fret of the A string, and we play that with our first finger on the left hand. By the way, the left hand is numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't talk about our thumb because it's back here behind the neck. Alright, there are 3 notes for Satisfaction. I think it's time to have a look at the bass line. We just need 2 notes for the intro of Satisfaction, our open E string and our open A string. Let's have a look at the chart. Below our bass staff, we've added a new connected staff called the bass tab or bass tablature staff. It works like this. Bottom line is the E string, next line up is the A string, D string, and the top line is the G string. The numbers represent frets, so in relation to Satisfaction, you can see we've got 2 O's in the first bar, and they represent open E string, no frets. Then we go up a line and down a string, and that's our A string, O. Then we can see that it's exactly the same in the second half. Just do the same thing again. So the rhythm for our bass part is notated on the bass staff. That's a quarter note or crotchet, and that's E for 1 beat. The thing next to it is a crotchet rest. It means silence for 1 beat. E for 1 beat, silence for 1 beat, E for 1 beat, silence for 1 beat. 4 beats, which is where we get the idea of 4 beats per bar. The next bar, A, silence, A, silence. And as we're playing, we're feeling the pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's play it, shall we? I'll count in 4 beats and then we'll play. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, E, A, A, E, E, A. All right, but you'll notice there that there wasn't any silence. The E's ran into the A's. So to get the silence, we press down very lightly with our left hand. So yes, we're not fretting any notes, but we're resting our hand lightly to stop the notes from ringing, and that's called muting. So I'm going to pluck E and literally rest my left hand against the strings to create the rest. Ready? After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, mute, E, mute, A, mute, A, mute, E, mute, E, mute, A, mute, A, mute. Couple of really important things there. When I struck the E string, my thumb rests against my thumb, as we talked about before, and when I struck the A string, my finger comes to rest against the E string to keep it quiet. All right, one last time. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, rest, E, rest, A, rest, A, rest, E, rest, E, rest, A, rest, A, rest. That's the intro. Still just our old friends E and A for the chorus, but this time 2 bars of E, 2 bars of A, hit the repeat sign, come back to the repeat sign pointing the other way, and do it all again. All right, let's play together, shall we? After 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. E, rest, E, rest, E, rest, E, rest, A, rest, A, rest, A, rest, A, repeat. E, rest, E, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A, rest, A, rest. That's the chorus. The pre-chorus features the only cameo appearance by our 2nd fret on the A string, B. Looking at the chart, we can see 1 bar of E, 1 bar of B, 1 bar of E, 1 bar of A. Pretty much exactly the same as the intro, with the B dipping in for the A. All right, 2 bars in after 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. E, E, B, B, E, E, A. That's it. But before we move on, a quick note on muting for the B. So a fretted note gives us some extra opportunities for muting. So when I press down the B, if I keep my finger pressed down, well, it sustains or rings out or lasts pretty much forever on my bass guitar. So to stop it, I relax. So lots of people think about taking your hand away from the bass guitar, but I like to think about press down, and then I don't think about pressing down anymore and my finger releases. Press down, release, press down, release. And that can determine when our note stops. Let's try that together. Well, let's just play some B's. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. B, release, 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 B, release. Pressing and releasing, and at all times my finger stays in contact with the string. All right, whole thing together with our rests and our muting. After 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. E, E, B, B, E, E, A. Pre-chorus. So some more E's and A's in our verse. Essentially we're playing 1 bar of E and 1 bar of A every time we hear the main guitar riff. So let's have a look at our chart for some extra repeat sign conventions. 1 bar of E, 1 bar of A, repeat sign, back to the repeat, 1 bar of E, 1 bar of A, carry on. E, A, repeat sign, stop the clock. Above there it says 6x. That means play this repeat section 6 times. So 2 bars, times 6 equals 12, and we've already played 4 bars before, so 4 plus 12 equals 16. Classic rock and roll form. So to practice this, we've already played E's and A's. Let's bring in another convention for good bass practice, playing along with a metronome. In rock and roll, we call it the click or the click track. This will click every beat, and we call the speed of the beat the tempo, and we express that as beats per minute. So I'm going to set my click track for 120 beats per minute, and we'll give 2 bars of counting, standard GBL practice, and then let's have a go at playing these 16 bars. All right, here we go. 2, 2, 3, 4, E. Repeat. Moving on. That's 1 time, repeat. 2 times, repeat. 3 times. 4 times. 5 times. 6 times. So the breakdown features no bass for 2 bars, 2 bars of rest, but then we're back in as the guitar comes back in with the riff, and we've got our E's and A's. There's a repeat sign. So just 4 bars for us for the breakdown. Those 2 bars of rest are for the drummer and the tambourine player and the maraca player to feature. All right, so we're going to do a very important thing that bass players do to increase our speed. We're going to move the tempo up just 6 beats per minute. We're aiming for 136 beats for this song when we perform this song with the GBL band or with our friends. So let's move our metronome up to 126. All right, 2 bar counting, and here we go. Well, let's not play the rests. We can practice that in your own time. We'll just come in with E, A, E, A at 126 BPM. 2, E. The outro does just what it says, gets us out of the song to the end. Looking at the chart, E, A, repeat, 4x. Repeat that section 4 times. Final bar, E beat 1, E beat 2. Those triangles underneath are accents, which for bass players mean put some more energy into the string as you strike it to accentuate or accent the notes. Throughout this section, we're listening for the vocalists or singers who will be singing no satisfaction 4 times. The syllable fac comes on beat 1 and shun comes on beat 2. So on the 5th time, check it out. No satisfaction. Beat 1 and 2. No satisfaction. And we're muting again to keep those notes nice and short and putting some extra energy into the bass to accentuate or accent those notes. And we're done. Let's practice this section, including our 4 times through repeat, and on the 5th time, faction, hitting those 2 E's. Let's do this at 130 beats per minute, which edges us ever closer to our ultimate of 136. 2 bar counting. 2, E. 1 time. 2 times. 3 times. Here's the last time. Finishing on. Before we get to the playthrough, a quick form recap. We've just been through all of the sections in the song, but principally we're just playing our main bass line most of the time, except for in the chorus where we're playing our E's and A's, and in the pre-chorus where we add the B to the E's and A's. So looking at the handy gig-based learning form guide at the bottom, you can see that we've got the intro at the beginning and the outro at the end, but essentially we're cycling around those sections 3 times, and that's the song. All right, I think we're ready for the playthrough. Now to the playthrough. This will be 136 beats per minute, just me on the bass guitar, plus the click track for you to play along with to prepare you to play this tune with either the gig-based learning backing track for bass guitar, or hopefully your friends have been doing tutorials for the other instruments and you're all ready to put this together as a band. To the chart, remember this is our gig-based learning scrolling chart. You get 2 bars of counting and then don't play green writing, just guitar. The guitar plays the riff twice, so we wait for 4 bars and it says in orange or amber, ready for whole band in, and then we're in with our main bass line. All right, see you at the end.